Hello guys, and welcome to Pro WB Gamer. I've got another video for you guys, and it's going back to a topic that I haven't done in quite a long time. And that topic is right here in my number one slot. The homing missile. You guessed it right. Ever since the homing missile has been added, even before I have played, even before I even knew that the game existed, as soon as it was added, it has had problems. And these have never been fixed. First of all, the homing missile can only home in against vehicles. It cannot home in against other players. Now that might sound completely fine, right? Vehicles are vehicles, they're much bigger, they need to be homed in on. But the problem is that the homing missile is the homing missile. And if I wanted to fire unguided rockets, then I would use the RPG. Now, some quick statistics here. The homing missile does 75 damage per hit, and that is a direct hit. Anywhere to a vehicle or anywhere through body, no crits. It does 75 damage. And that takes how many shots to kill a player? Too many. Alright guys, if you guys did not pass preschool math for some bizarre reason, I will do the math for you and show you why this is a major issue. Alright? So the max else is 375. Now divide that by 75 to damage a very big, very large missile that can take down entire vehicles on its own. Yes. Okay? 75, 150, 225, 300, 375. That is 5 shots to kill a player. 5. Yet the RPG does 200 damage, no matter where you hit it. So when the homing missile has the same reload, almost the same stats, except the damage, the homing missile takes 5 shots to kill a player, while the RPG takes 2 shots to kill the same player. That's not fair, because it has the same reload time, same spread, same projectile speed. There's no EDS in either of them, so you hip fire, and hip fire for both of them is very inaccurate. See? If I hit someone in the head with a missile, they should take more damage than if I hit them in the foot with a missile. So what the devs need to do, probably Jojo15, he's the lead, is to give the homing missile headshot multiplier. Now, a vehicle doesn't have a head, Pro WB Gamer, so why would we have to add a missile that's for fighting vehicles to get damage for shooting in the head? Well, because in 4v4 mode, as I'm playing for you guys, there is not a single vehicle. So if anyone wants to use an explosive weapon, they immediately go to the RPG. The RPG is the only viable option for a launcher within the game. And another problem with it, and this is both the RPG and the homing missile, although it makes sense, is the very long reload times. It makes sense to have 3 or 4 seconds, but right now, it takes much more than 3 or 4 seconds. It's like it's some sort of ability that has a cooldown, instead of some sort of weapon that you pop in another piece of ammunition. So for a marksman rifle, alright, the reload is this. Simple, right? Alright. So the wheel said that I should be done with it, right? But then the wheel went back. Once I was done with it, it said, nope, you are not done with it. No, you're a third of the way done. And at that time, if I had tested in a less ideal position, I would have gotten myself, really murdered. You know, gun violence. And while that could make sense for some sort of heavy launcher that does a lot of damage, the crossbow, okay? Crossbow only has one shot. You reload every single time, but it one-shots to the foot. So it has its problems, but it also has a reason to use it despite its problems, and that's called opportunity costs. Now, in order to solve this issue, we don't need to take it away. We just need to reduce the opportunity cost that is too much and is causing no one to use it. If you can pay 62 cents, if you can buy 62 cents with $5, you would not, because it is objectively worse. You are losing. You are not gaining, you are losing. So, let us put the homing missile inside of the secondary slot. Yes, secondary slot, slot 3. You put your pistol in there, you put your deagle in there. That is where the homing missile belongs. Why? Because it is a whip it out, use it, and then don't use it very often kind of thing. It isn't something that you are intended to be running around constantly only using. And we've seen this in a lot of games. Almost every Call of Duty game has launchers listed as secondaries. Why? Because launchers should not take up the space of your rifle or your shotgun or your SMG. You're losing out on too much firepower. And while one launcher shot might do decent damage, one shotgun shot is doing more than one launcher shot. And that is a severe balance issue. And another part of this problem is that when you use a launcher, it should be going far away, right? To get those vehicles, right? And those players, right? It's not something that you are going up right next to and then shooting. See? You don't run up to an enemy, shoot him with a launcher. No, you take the damage from that. And while it makes sense to take self-damage from a failure, it doesn't make sense to take self-damage from normal use. So, both the homing missile and the RPG need to be equipped with a 2 times scope. They start with the 2 times scope. The homing missile already has a part of the mesh that looks like a scope. Well, great. Let's use it. Let's give it a scope. And that would be a major fix to what is happening at the close range. And another problem with the homing missile is that it can only home in onto vehicles. So we need to allow the homing missile to home in onto players as well. Because even with the scope, it is still going to be really slow, really inaccurate, and if you miss, it's extremely punishing. So if the homing missile were able to home in on the players, I could go over here, aim through the scope, and I would hit, and I would do damage. But instead, I'm using a homing missile without homing. Doesn't make any sense. So those are my thoughts on the homing missile. Make sure to like, subscribe, and smash the like button like your girl in bed.